Imagine a galaxy where honor is everything, and failure means not just death, but eternal disgrace. This is the world of the Yautja, fierce hunters whose traditions are as brutal as they are ancient. Today, we dive into a gripping tale of a young Yautja, ostracized by his father, who embarks on a deadly quest to prove his worth, only to discover a deeper truth about strength, family, and the bonds that truly matter. Welcome back, cinematic explorers, to another deep dive into the heart of a thrilling movie. Today, we're dissecting Predator, New Clan, a story that redefines what it means to be a predator. Get ready for every pulse-pounding moment, every hidden detail, and an ending that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about these legendary hunters. Our story begins with Dek, a young Yautja, training with his brother, Quay. Dek's father, a formidable elder, tests their combat prowess, demanding they show who they are. He criticizes Quay for not having his sword ready, showcasing his harsh judgment. Quay reveals a broken sword, his thong, admitting he lost it protecting Dek from a vicious creature. Dek has fixed it, warning Quay, "Don't blow yourself up." Dek's father then calls for Dek's vow, a sacred ritual where he must choose his prey to earn his place in the clan. He commands Dek to choose your prey. Bring it home, or never return. Dek chooses Jenna, the Death Planet, home of the unkillable Kalisk, a beast even his father fears. He declares, "I must kill the strongest," because his father calls him the weakest. Dek's resolve is set, failure means death. Then I will not fail. His father, however, sees only weakness in Dek and orders Quay to kill his own brother in his sleep. When Quay refuses, the father brutally kills Quay himself, declaring he will only honor us in death. He coldly states, to forgive weakness, is to show weakness. Before Quay is executed. Distraught, Dek barely escapes as his ship's launch sequence initiated, and he vows to bring home the Kalisk for Quay. On Jenna, Dek is immediately attacked by venomous flora, paralyzing him. A synthetic named Thaya appears, offering help for a hand in return. Dek asserts, Yautja hunt alone, but Thaya retorts, they die alone, too. She recognizes his quarry, you're hunting the Kalisk. Thaya expertly uses Kalisk venom to create an antidote, reviving Dek, leaving him good as new. Thaya explains she's a synthetic from Weyland-Yutani, deployed for research on Jenna, a planet where many Yautja have come for the great Kalisk. She proposes to guide Dek to the Kalisk's den, promising, I've seen the Kalisk. I survived it. Dek, still wary, agrees to use her, accepting her exactly like a tool. Thaya introduces herself, you may call me Thaya, and peppers Dek with questions about Yautja technology and culture. Eventually, Dek reveals his name is Dek. Now talk that way, demanding she stick to the mission. Thaya recounts her 2 years on Jenna, separated from her partner, Tessa, by a Kalisk attack. She believes her sensitivity allows her to understand the planet, but Dek dismisses it as weakness. Thaya remains convinced Tessa is alive, I refuse to believe she's dead. Meanwhile, another Weyland-Yutani synthetic, Tessa, receives a stern warning, the company is not pleased. She reports that the Yautja has Thea, but then goes off to eat. Dek, Thaya, and a surprising Kalisk child, who Thaya names Bud, hunt bone bison, the Kalisk's natural prey. Thaya expresses her thrill, so exciting. Hunting with the Yautja. Dek, ever focused, warns her about razor grass and other dangers. During the hunt, they encounter a terrifying creature, and Bud assists them, shouting, coming up behind you, to alert Dek. After a successful, exhilarating hunt, Thaya declares it the best hunt I've ever been on. She gushes, this is the dream team right here, and praises Dek's killing prowess. Dek describes his favorite part, when I pierced its head with my sword, and its blood rushed down my face. Thaya notices Bud marking Dek as part of its family and asks about Dek's clan, to which he replies, I have no clan. He reveals his father killed Quay, and Thaya recognizes his grief, though Dek calls grief his weakness. Dek insists, I am here for Kalisk, while Thaya explains she is here to find Tessa. Thaya sees the parallel, realizing, Tessa is your sister, and vows to find her. Dek, softening, tells her, find your sister. And Legs, accepting their joint quest. Later, Dek confronts Thaya, calling her a useless tool if you don't speak, as they track the Kalisk. He confides that his brother protected him, but the clan can have no weakness, explaining his father's cruelty. Thaya teaches Dek about Earth's wolves, explaining the Alpha isn't the wolf who kills the most, but the one who protects the pack. They arrive at the Kalisk's den, finding it to be a Weyland-Yutani facility, and Dek asks, who are they? Thaya finds her new legs, exclaiming, easier for me to walk now, feeling whole again. Dek, now committed, declares, I will honor Quay, when I bring the Kalisk home. Then I taste revenge. However, Thaya activates a location beacon activated. What? She admits calling Tessa and reveals Weyland-Yutani's true mission, to capture the Kalisk, not kill it. Dek realizes, you want my trophy. Feeling betrayed, Dek yells, I use you, tool. You do not use me, as Thaya tries to incapacitate him. He chooses to fight to the death, then my death will be honorable, but Thaya restrains him. As the other synths arrive, Dek desperately tells Thaya, save yourself, tool, still seeing her as a companion. Tessa appears, dismisses Thaya as another broken tool, and takes control. She mocks Dek, telling him, you are nothing. A device, created by others. Thaya tries to reason with Tessa, praising Dek, the Yautja is a great traveling companion, and explaining the Kalisk's regenerative properties. Tessa is interested in the Kalisk, recognizing the creature is a regenerative miracle. She dismisses Dek as not an ideal specimen, only valuing his technology. Tessa orders, we can salvage its weapons and leave the Yautja, ignoring Thaya's pleas. She stresses that, he was not the goal of our mission, focusing solely on the Kalisk. Another synth echoes, Tessa, he is deficient, reinforcing Dek's perceived worthlessness. Thaya, pleading, suggests, we can be more than what they ask of us, trying to connect with Tessa as a sister. Tessa rejects this, stating, I did not come here to rescue you. I am completing our mission. Tessa echoes Dek's father's cruel words, the weak must be culled, calling Thaya, broken. Mother, the company's AI, orders Tessa to motivate the Yautja to explain its weapons and box her up, Thaya. Thaya is horrified, I trusted you, as Tessa coldly executes the orders. Dek, imprisoned, says, don't like these tools when Tessa tries to interrogate him about his weapon. Thaya, secretly helping Dek, translates his weapon as a children's toy, but instructs him to pretend it's a map. When Tessa looks inside, it triggers an explosion, and Thaya yells, run, Dek. Go. Go, as he escapes. The device projects Quay's image, guiding Dek, who whispers, you saved me, brother. Dek finds Bud, the Kalisk child, and realizes Tessa is reporting to Mother about the captured Kalisk. Tessa lies to Mother, claiming the Yautja is dead, and a defective specimen, to cover Dek's escape. Dek re-enters the facility, confronting Tessa, who asks, Dek, what are you doing here? He reveals, I came to rescue you, freeing Thaya as well. Thaya, touched, asks, you came back for me, as Dek dons bone bison armor, declaring himself Dek of the Yautja. They learn Bud's mother is the great Kalisk captured by Weyland-Yutani. Thaya asks, Bud's its child. What's the plan? Dek's plan is simple, you free the Kalisk. I get my trophy, then they initiate launch. He tells Thaya to wait while he creates a diversion, saying, let's go hunt. Dek's father and other Yautja warriors arrive, having tracked Dek, with his father demanding, what are you doing here? Tessa, now leading the remaining synths, asks Dek mockingly, "How does it feel to be hunted?" Thaya confronts Tessa, lamenting, "Betrayed by my own sister," but Tessa coldly retorts, "We're not sisters." Dek, amidst the chaos, confronts his father, declaring, "I've come for my cloak," a symbol of his earned status. His father accuses him, "You disgrace our clan." And so did Quay. After a fierce battle, Dek defeats his father, who, in a surprising moment, says, "Perhaps the right son did survive." Dek, refusing to join his father's clan, asserts, "I have my own clan," with Thaya and Bud by his side. He has finally earned that cloak, and a new family, based on loyalty, not cruelty. As their ship departs, Thaya says, "It's my mother," perhaps referring to the Kalisk, or a new beginning. Dek, the young Yautja, once seen as weak, has forged his own path, proved his strength, and found a new definition of family. His journey reminds us that true power comes not from brutality, but from protection, loyalty, and the courage to challenge old traditions. What did you think of Dek's transformation? Did you see the twist with Thaya coming? Let us know your favorite moments and theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more epic movie explanations and recaps. Until next time, keep exploring the cinematic universe.